Hi guys, so in this video I want to talk about how do you actually think about growth for a developing country. So for this we'll walk through the example of India during 1955 and through the plan implemented by Nehru and Mahalanobis, the second 5-year plan. We'll go through the thinking behind it and what are the objectives that the plan met. So let's start. So let's consider that you are in 1955. India had just gotten its independence, and the major challenges that the Indian faced was that the Britishers had looted Indians. We needed a upstart in an economy, like a boost. So the question is, how do you achieve growth despite these things? Before moving on to the plan, some facts about Mahalanobis. So Mahalanobis was a great statistician. He completed his education from England, King's College, and he was the founder of ISI, Indian Statistical Institute in Kolkata. He is basically a pioneer in data collection programs about like wages, uh, unemployment, then consumption, which are still being used today. So moving on to the strategy of the plan, let's try to visualize what they had in mind. So the major thing that they want to understand was where to focus on, like which industry or which area to focus on, where to focus. So this was a main point of thinking for them. So the input that they want, the investment that they wanted to put in this focus area should actually lead to a maximum growth potential. So here my growth is a rapid growth, and here I'm making my investment. So the area of focus is important because you don't want to invest in a place where the growth is very slow or the growth is stagnant. You want to invest in a place where there is a high prospect of growth. So tackling this question, what Mahalabi said was we should focus on heavy industries. So he said we should focus on heavy industries. By heavy industry, he means steel, iron, etc. etc. The reasoning behind focusing on heavy industries were basically two. First was these industries actually supply materials to consumer good industries. So these industries can be a bottleneck if we don't develop them at the start. So you can imagine these industries here, and these industries, the consumer good industries in green, are dependent in on this heavy industry. So if I don't start the production of this first, I won't have the output of these industries. So one major reason was to start the production of heavy industries, basically which produce capital goods, so that this output can then lead to the consumer goods industry, and they can henceforth start processing on their own. So this was the first reasoning. The second reasoning was India was not exporting commodities which other countries were, because prior to independence India was primarily an agricultural country, and they wanted to build their base in these capital goods like steel, iron, all this, so they can also export it. So the second reason was building a base for capital goods. So what Mahalanobis had in mind was basically an economy where you have these heavy industries which produces materials which can be used by the consumer goods industry, and in turn then the whole economy will be self-sufficient and India will be self-reliant. So self-reliant was a major objective of this plan, that we'll produce on our own and we have this huge domestic space that they will consume, and we will be less dependent on import from other foreign countries. Coming to the assumptions part, the major assumption that Mahalanobis considered was that India would be a closed economy with very less dependent on either import or export during these 5 years. So this was the first assumption. The second assumption was whatever investment I put in the capital goods sector, basically whatever investment I put in the heavy industries will lead me to a direct output or a growth. So these were the two basic assumptions that he made. Now coming to the part to see how effective the plan was in reality. Did it meet its objectives that it set out for? So coming to the first part of the objectives, so the target for national income to reach was around 25% by the end of 5 years, but in reality it reached up to 18%. The major advantage of this plan was there is a huge increase in the industrial sector. There was a huge boost, and it laid the foundation of industrialization in India, though in public space, but it increased the number of industries. It increased the output by almost 200% in steel, iron, fertilizers, and other capital goods. Now we try to see what were the criticisms or drawback of the plan. But in hindsight, actually, it's very easy to evaluate or analyze the plan. But when you are in that moment, when you have to make decision, it's pretty hard to see these criticisms or drawbacks. But anyways, the first drawback was the agriculture sector was neglected in this plan. The plan allocated 2/3 of the investment towards the heavy industries and less than 1/3 towards agriculture. Now, for some, this can seem a problem because agriculture formed 60% of GDP during that time and employed a maximum number of people. So, not concentrating on agriculture for 5 years could be a problem and could stagnate the growth there. The second main problem was the assumptions made by Mahalanobis was that India would be a closed economy with very much dependence on import or export. Now the problem here was, for heavy industries to operate, you needed some raw materials which you needed to import. So for this you needed raw materials which you needed to import. The second was, as agriculture sector was neglected, there was a decrease in food grain production, so that also needed to be imported. So the thing was, a lot of things were being imported with very less things being exported. So the balance of payments was off and there was a deficit in foreign reserve. I have also added links to articles and research paper in the descriptions if you wanted to read more about the Mahalanobis second 5-year plan, and do let me know in the comments what you think about it.